One of my favorite films about women is 2 Days, One Night, Dardenne Brothers. A fantastic film about a woman. The reason why I underline I'm a female filmmaker is because I want to write stories, and I do write stories about the female experience. And I think that is important. We need more of that in our society, especially in Azerbaijan, about the domestic violences, about the forced marriages. I'm not talking about like things that happen in, the less educated families. I'm talking about middle class, Baku. And this is where my passion is, and this is what I want to write about. It has nothing to do with my genitalia. It more has to do with the voice that I have as a female to write about the female experience. I mean, most of the time, if you're an actor or a filmmaker, you have to, right? You're more empathetic, you have connection, you understand people. I'm not saying I understand their struggles, because women that go through domestic violence, I will never know what it's like. But I can try to at least be a voice for issues that we can bring more awareness to. But I've read a lot of those, I've spoken to those people, I have friends that personally have gone through it. Honestly, I don't have to look far. I mean, it's not in my immediate family, but it's there. I can go to my, my second cousin, and I'll find these stories. So a woman is when I finally decided that, hey, I have very little money, I have very little time, I'm gonna do it. And honestly, it was an experiment. I thought I was just gonna do it, it's probably not gonna even come out to anything, but it happened and it worked out.
So that's your first
directorial thing.
Directorial work.
Yeah. So I've never directed before in my life, ever. I'm very inspired by archetypes. I'm very inspired by mythology, the divine feminine. I was inspired by how empathetic and compassionate women are and how much they contribute into our lives without necessarily having to wear, this armor of like Wonder Woman. I was also very careful to make sure that I don't make her some, victim. She is not a victim. She's a modern woman. She made sure that she married a man that she loved, that she met on her own. She's not complaining, but this is just the reality of so many women, is that their credit goes by unnoticed and how much they're capable of giving. I really had no expectations. And then when it got into Palm Springs, it was like, huge for me. And then I became a finalist for a Sundance Ignite fellowship. I had interviewed with them. They were incredibly encouraging. They were big fans, and I didn't end up getting it, but it was still cool. Like 20 people out of 1,600 submitted, and the fact that I got to talk to them and everything was really cool. I didn't even bother applying to, Cannes, Berlin, Venice. I knew right away. You have to be smart sometimes in these things. You have to have an understanding of where your film would fit in and where it wouldn't. If you make a good film, it'll get into places. And if it doesn't get into places, as long as it touches people's hearts, people can connect from it, that's all that matters. That's how I see it. Bow!